Have you ever wondered where we came from and where we are going? These seem like simple questions, but they have accompanied humanity since the dawn of science. Among these questions, one arouses immense curiosity. What will be the final destination of our civilization? We know that many events can change the course of our history, but there is a unique moment in a person's life when they realize the finiteness of their existence. It's a bit disturbing to think that, even if we were to achieve immortality, we wouldn't escape the ultimate end of the universe. So let's take a break from existential questions for a moment and dive into something that, at first glance, seems far removed from our daily lives: the shape of the universe. It may seem strange, but even if you don't spend your days thinking about geometry, somehow it's always present in your life. You see, when you visualize a square in your mind, you automatically know that its internal angles add up to 90 degrees, right? That's the basics of Euclidean geometry, a constant friend in many of our daily activities, even if we don't realize it. For example, when you're driving smoothly and keeping a safe distance from the car ahead, you're applying geometric principles without realizing it. You trust that the parallel lines of the road will never meet, and hopefully, neither will the cars. But here's a curious fact. All this confidence comes from the fact that we are used to living in a world that follows the rules of Euclidean geometry. But imagine if the rules changed depending on where you are in the universe? It sounds like science fiction, but that's exactly what happens when we talk about the shape of our cosmos. This talk of geometry may sound a bit academic, but it's incredibly relevant when we start to explore the depths of space. The way we understand distances, angles, and even our location in the universe depends on its overall shape. And between you and me, this conversation about the shape of the universe isn't just a mental exercise. It has real implications for how we understand everything around us, from the expansion of the cosmos to the way gravity works. So, even if geometry isn't your thing, know that it is subliminally shaping your perception of the world and even the universe. Amazing, isn't it? Now, how about we take a fresh look at cosmic issues, considering how simple geometry can open doors to understanding the deepest mysteries of the cosmos. Let's go for it, because the universe has much more to reveal than we can imagine, and every bit of knowledge brings us a little closer to the answers we're looking for. But what if I told you something that could turn your world upside down? Let's get out of our comfort zone and think big, literally outside the box, or rather, outside the plan. Imagine this. You're at the North Pole. You decide to go for a walk in a straight line, you make a 90-degree turn, you walk some more, you turn again, and the next thing you know, you end up making a triangle with 3 right angles. Yes, I know. At school we learned that this doesn't work on paper. But guess what? On the surface of a sphere, like our Earth, it's not only possible, it happens. Now let's take this idea to another level. If something as basic as forming a triangle can be so different depending on where you are, on a plane or a sphere, just imagine the impact this has on the way we understand the universe. The question remains, if our great, vast universe isn't flat, how does that change our perception of everything? From the way light travels through space to how galaxies move and interact with each other, everything could be seen in a new light. Pardon the pun. This is not just an exercise in imagination, it's an open door for us to understand that the universe, with all its stars, planets, and mysteries, can be much stranger and more wonderful than the simple three-dimensional reality we perceive on a daily basis. So the next time you look up at the night sky, remember, the wonders you see may be moving and existing in forms that go far beyond our basic understanding of geometry. And that, my friends, is just the beginning of the journey to unlock the secrets of the universe. Who knows what else we'll discover when we start thinking outside the box. Now let's move on to a concept that is as fascinating as it is complex. Einstein's theory of general relativity. Sounds like a mad scientist, right? But this guy was light years ahead, discovering that matter has the incredible power to bend the space around it. That's right, as if the universe were a rubber sheet and each star, planet, or galaxy, a weight that deforms that sheet. And this curvature isn't just for show, it even affects how light travels through the cosmos. Can you imagine light on its journey through space making curves, as if it were on a cosmic highway full of curves and detours? But what does this really mean for us mere mortals? Depending on how much matter is scattered around, the universe can take on different shapes. It can be closed like a giant sphere, open like your favorite saddle-shaped snack, yes, I'm talking about Pringles, or even flat, extending infinitely in all directions. And each of these shapes has a gigantic impact, not only on the geometry of the universe, but also on its final destination. Imagine the possibilities. In a spherical universe, we could end up back where we started if we travel forward far enough. In an open universe, on the other hand, we can venture forever without ever encountering a limit. And in a flat universe, well, things get a little more familiar, but no less intriguing. Each format offers a unique scenario for the end of time, from a great collapse to an eternal expansion, where everything we know moves further and further away. So the next time you stop to look at the stars, remember that they are dancing on a stage much more dynamic and surprising than we can imagine. Matter, that basic ingredient of the universe, has the power to shape the cosmos in ways we are still trying to understand. And that, friends, is an invitation to never stop exploring, questioning, and marveling at the wonders of the universe that Einstein began to unveil for us. Who knows what else we'll discover by following in the footsteps of this giant of science? Just imagine, if the universe is stuffed to the brim with matter, one day it could get tired of stretching like a rubber band and start shrinking. This back and forth movement is what scientific minds call the Big Crunch. It's as if the universe took a big breath after a long sigh. But what if the universe is more economical in terms of the amount of matter? Then, my friends, it continues to expand, stretching further and further in an endless farewell towards a cold and empty end. A truly icy farewell, where every star, galaxy, and even the last bit of matter moves so far away that it seems like a great cosmic oblivion. But then, in the midst of all these possibilities, scientists throw up an idea that is almost a plot twist. We seem to be living in a flat universe. This is no small feat. It means that, instead of a dramatic closing with a big crunch or a melancholy ending of infinite expansion, our universe has a perfect balance in the amount of matter, as if it were on a tightrope, but without ever falling either way. And what does this mean for us, mere spectators of this great cosmic opera? Well, living in a flat universe opens up a range of fascinating possibilities for our cosmic future. It means that we are in an intriguing middle ground, on a fine line between total collapse and eternal expansion. This gives us a prominent role in the quest to understand not only where we are in the grand scheme of things, but also how we can influence, or at least understand the path the universe is taking. After all, if the balance of matter is what determines the fate of the universe, who knows what surprises the future holds? Perhaps we are more connected to this cosmic destiny than we realize, actively participating in the great mystery that is the universe. So, how about looking up at the starry sky with a little more curiosity and wonder, thinking about the infinite possibilities that the future holds?